Hello there. Welcome back to Tales from Tashi Station. What's up, guys? It's been a minute. Sorry, I've been away from the mic for a minute. I've been working on a few things. You guys might have noticed it. I think I've got a few new subscribers since the last time I did a video, and just wanted to say thank you before we get started on this episode. Um, First off, hello to all the new subscribers out there. I believe I've got about 69, I think. Last time I checked earlier today before I started this. So all my new subscribers, hello there. My name is Jacob. This is Tales from Tashi Station, and please feel free look the rest of my videos, share any out that you think you might like, and to everyone who's seen the first part of the audio drama, I'm glad you guys have liked it. It seems pretty well received. Everyone seems to be liking it, and to everyone that helped me, from from Grayson and Cole at Morris FM, Seth and Connor over at Beyond the Dune Sea, um, the uh, the Brandalorian, uh, Ashton, Jason, JT. I, I know there's a bunch of other people I'm forgetting, but everybody that helped me with this project, getting it done, getting the uh, getting the lines in, it was fantastic to work on. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, from everybody that helped me do this. Part one was awesome, and I'm about to start working on part two. I'm gonna start working on the script very soon, and I cannot wait to share part two with you once I get that started. But for right now, that's not what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are wrapping up a three-part series of one of my favorite Legends characters, Jade Skywalker, aka the Emperor's Hand. So, before we get into it, to all my new people, this is your first time. Hey Chewie, do me a favor, punch it. Let's get into it. Alrighty then, let's start off. So, before we get started, anyone who hasn't seen parts one and parts two of this series, click down below where my finger is. Why? Because the video links are gonna be in the description. Go watch those videos and then come back here. Share it with your friends. Tell them you found a pretty awesome dude on YouTube that does Star Wars videos, and send them my way. Please and thank you. Now, for those that have seen part one and two, or just know who Mara Jade is, buckle up because we're gonna get to the sad stuff. So, we begin with one of the bloodiest wars the galaxy has ever seen, the Yuzong Vong War. Who are the Yuzong Vong, Jacob? Well, that's a video for another time. But a brief description, a brief oversimplification is they're a alien race from a different galaxy that the Force doesn't work on. So that's in a nutshell what they are. So here we go. So at the beginning of this conflict, Mara was infected with a bioagent while attending a diplomatic ceremony, and throughout the early stages of the conflict, her condition kept getting worse. To the point to where she almost couldn't fight. There was one point in particular. She's guarding Leia during the Battle of Dantooine, or guarding. Uh, she's gotten so weak to the point to where she's having to just play guard duty during the Battle of Dantooine. And if it was not for Leia and her Nogri bodyguard, she would have gotten killed. And at this point, she can't. She's getting things are getting bad. She can't do anything. Towards the height of the war with the Yuzong Vong, a Vong spy named Ellen defects to the New Republic and begins feeding information to the New Republic and the Jedi on how to defeat the Vong. Along with that, she sets a meeting up that could, in part, cure Mara. As this meeting is happening on the refugee transport, there there's an attack. Things go awry. Things get crazy. Elaine actually gets killed, and in the process, while all this is going on, however, before this happens, Han's given a vial of tears, which he gets told to take back to Luke and the Jedi as soon as possible. Once back there, Mara connects the dots, figures out that these tears can be used to heal her, steals them from Luke, drinks them, and she's cured. And now we get to talk about pregnant Mara Jade. And this one is a doozy. So, just a little bit of a warning here. This is the later parts of this get a little weird because it's just how Legends canon is. There's some really goofy force powers that happen in canon. So that's my explainer before I get into this. So here we go. So during a mission on Duro, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Mara Jade, her fearing that her illness returned, she's reaching on the force. She feels her body chemistry. Something's not right with her body. She reads her own body and she figures out that she's pregnant. And in the final weeks of her pregnancy, she essentially becomes bedridden as that illness that she thought she cured comes back. In what could have been her last moments, Mara Jade and her unborn son, Ben, merged minds, purging the illness from her as Ben Skywalker is born. Like I said, this is one of those force powers that it happens in Legends. It's a lot of crazy things happen in Legends. Chewie gets a planet dropped on his head for one in Legends, if you guys didn't know. And but anyways, after that, after Ben's born, it's a dark period during the Yuzon Vong War. The Vong take Coruscant as well as a uh, bioweapon gets created called Alpha Red, and the this is how desperate the New Republic and the remnants of the Galactic Empire have gotten. They're essentially saying, "Hey, we're gonna commit a genocide to kill to kill these things. We don't care what happens as long as they all get killed. And yeah, the Skywalkers and the Jedi just kind of step in and say, "Yeah, we're not going to do that because if we commit a genocide, that could actually escalate things, and fighting could get worse, and even more people could die. It's not going to be the deterrent that you think it's going to be. So that doesn't happen." And the Galactic Alliance eventually are able to force a Vong surrender and retreat by their war master. Again, I'm probably going to butcher this name, Naz Choka. But following the war, she and Luke would go on many other adventures, and she would continue to help lead the Jedi in the New Republic until the start of the Second Galactic Civil War, where she gets killed by Jason Solo, otherwise known as Darth Caedus, one of the sickest Sith Lords in existence when it comes to canon. I mean, Darth Caedus is a just read up on some of the stuff that Jason Solo does. It's Anakin and his war crimes have nothing on this kid. It's pretty bad. So that's her story in a nutshell. Um, she's if you want more information, go watch the first two parts, and you'll see that she is as a whole, as a character as a whole, she is the tried and true Star Wars female character. Strong, stubborn, smart, really good in a fight. I mean, she's the typical Star Wars female character, which is something that I've always enjoyed in Star Wars. Is that most of, if not all, the women, all the female characters that we've seen in Star Wars have all just been just fighters. Every single one of them, in one way or the other. And I would really like to see her in canon. I don't. There's been rumblings that we might see her. I know Disney. I think Disneyland just announced that they're bringing her saber into the into Savvy's workshop. Either it's Savvy's workshop or it's just going to go on sale. I'm not really sure. Didn't really read that much into the article. I just know that Disney's going to put it out there, and me reading into that. Sorry about that. Me reading into that. Um, Disney doesn't do things. They just don't. Disney doesn't do things by mistake. So them putting her lightsaber on sale, I think, is something it's signaling something. And they've also been putting out a lot of new stuff for Mando and Grogu lately. So I have a theory here. We're going to see Mara Jade debut in the Mando and Grogu movie. That's my official prediction. Either they're changing her backstory where she's working for Thrawn, or she's already with the rebellion. I don't know, but um, I think in some capacity we're going to see her officially brought into canon. And this is what I would do. Um, I think her story would largely be. I mean, to this point, her story would be largely unchanged. She could still be the Emperor's hand, still be a secret assassin, stuff like that. I mean, if if we want to have fun with it, we can basically say that there was two Sith assassins running around during the time of the Empire. We can have Mara Jade being in the Emperor's hand. Then we've got Star Killer running around the galaxy. We can have those two just like not ever meeting, but they're killing all of the Emperor's enemies and not knowing about each other. I know it would require conveniences, but I think that'd be cool. But anyways, so I think that um we could we could see her and get introduced into either Ahsoka season 2 as a mercenary. I don't know how that would work because I think Ahsoka season 2 they're going to focus more so on Ahsoka and Sabine being on Peridia and more focused on the force cosmic side of Star Wars instead of the military conflict side. Or like I said, she's probably going to be introduced into the Mando and Grogu movie as a mercenary working for Thrawn, trying to find Luke and kill him. However, just like in the just like in the just like in the books, which also, by the way, look at Tales of the Archives with the guys over at Beyond the Dune Sea, Connor and Seth, Grayson from Mortis FM, sorry, and and Will of the Force. They've actually done breakdowns of the original Thrawn trilogy from the '90s, and if you're looking for thorough breakdowns on those books, I would highly recommend go watch those videos because those guys just well done, fellas. Those 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 discussions are amazing. But like I said, I would think that her story would largely be unchanged up to the Ben Solo of it all because they kind of take Jason Solo and Ben and kind of morph them into one character. And I think it would if it would get a little messy around this time because they would have to retcon the Kylo Ren comic series that is canon, with him being seduced by Snoke and all that good jazz. I could I could see where when Ben shows back up and or Ben destroys the temple, Mara confronts him and tries to stop him, and he kills her. I mean, that would drive home a little bit more the fact that Luke just kind of goes into exile and turns into a hermit. But I don't know if that would work. Um, but yeah, that's how I would bring Mara into canon, and I honestly think we're probably going to see her in canon sooner rather than later because of all the moves that Disney's doing around her character. Disney doesn't do anything by accident. They they know they've got a strong female character, and I think they're going to bring her in at some point. And I don't know who play her. I don't have any ideas on the top of my head. If you guys have got any suggestions on who could play Mara Jade in live action, drop it down below. Let's discuss. So yeah, that's all I've got this week. But tune in next week because I've got another series that I'm slowly starting to wrap up. It's going to be my Bad Batch versus Delta Squad. Uh, Bad Batch versus Delta Squad breakdown, and I will be pitting against. I will be pitting Wrecker and Scorch against each other on that last episode. I've got a general idea who's probably going to win that matchup, but tune in and we'll talk about it. And then to keep the clone content coming after that, I will be doing a video on the clones that disobeyed Order 66. So, till next week, guys, may the force be with you.